upper 70s on Saturday to the upper 60s on Sunday. Tessa?
Trial Tuesday, and today we're discussing a bill moving through the state Senate right now that would allow electronic monitoring in nursing homes and long-term care facilities. Attorney David Aylor is here to weigh in. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
This is something really big.
It is.
This is a game changer.
I think so. I think it's going to be a game changer if it passes for the protection of our loved ones related to facilities that take care of them. Because as we've seen over the last couple decades, there's been a lot more individuals who are moving family members for a lot of different reasons into these facilities.
Now, this has actually been started by Senator Paul Thurmond of Charleston, and he says that he introduced the bill after learning about a patient in Mount Pleasant nursing home where he was caught on a hidden camera being abused. Now, when you're saying hidden cameras in a nursing home like that, how legal is that to even prove, like in court, that you would have to prove that a loved one was being abused?
Well, I think in that situation, obviously, these are cameras that, and not speaking specifically to that incident, but where it is loved ones, family members, maybe a spouse or, a child has come in and put a hidden camera in, sort of to like a nanny cam.
Okay.
But what they're trying to do here is they're trying to make it all above board in the sense that they want everybody to know that if this individual's family who has the power of attorney to make these decisions wants to have a camera, they'll have it in the room. Because the issue, I know myself, I know Paul and others in the low country attorneys have handled cases where the problem is that these abuses happen and no one knows it. There's a lot of unreported abuses of adults, both physical as well as mental and even sexual.
Now let's talk about with the hidden cameras. Would this be something that the family would be responsible for installing, or is it going to be up to the facility to install that? Because I'm sure that could meet some opposition.
Right, you're right. I think there is a financial concern about it, but the way that I believe it would go is that it would essentially, if your family wanted to put one of those in the room of the loved one, then they would, obviously let the facility know, they would pay for it, and they would be responsible for it, just like they'd be responsible for personal items for the individual. Now, the backlash on this is that there's some privacy issues, but ultimately, if you're the one that's approving it for your family member, I think those go away.
Absolutely, but because you're finding that the care workers now are saying that they don't want the cameras in there, but of course the argument against that is, well, if you're doing your job, then it would be okay.
And remember, we're not talking about situations where people make mistakes. We all make mistakes within our jobs. We're humans. We're talking about actual deliberate abuse. Again, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and so much of this goes without anyone ever knowing, and then these people actually pass or are injured even worse, and you don't know about it because they can't communicate that to you. So I think the cameras could come in as a safeguard, and the goal for everyone, and it's not to say that there's not a lot of great facilities in the low country and across the country, is that there is a little bit of, checking. And that's what you're trying to do. You put someone in there you love because you trust that they're going to be cared for, and that's what this bill will help do.
Well, finally, David, if someone suspects maybe they have a loved one in a nursing home, a long-term care facility, and they're suspecting that their loved one is being abused, what's the first thing that they should do?
Well, you can look at it two different ways. Obviously, you could bring in a medical professional if you're concerned about, I know I had a situation with my own grandmother where they were giving her the wrong medicine. So sometimes it's a mistake, an innocent mistake. Other times you have other issues. So a lot of analysis from both the medical side as well as reporting it to the facility. The people in the facility, the supervisors, they may not know about the situation, and often that's what it is. It's a lack of, basically oversight, but then there's a couple bad eggs that are causing this damage. But what you don't want to do is take it for granted that everything's going okay. You want to investigate it either through an attorney's office or with some medical professionals, but the sooner you do it, the quicker you may catch it.
Absolutely, David. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All righty. Stay with us. More Low Country Live right after the break.